here today at Autumn and Violet's house to read you my favorite holiday book. It's called Mr. Willoughby's Christmas Tree, and it's published by Dell Publishing, and it's written by Robert Berry. Mr. Willoughby's Christmas tree came by special delivery. Full and fresh and glistening green, the biggest tree he had ever seen. He dashed downstairs to open the door. This was the moment he'd waited for. A magnificent tree. Splendid, he cried. Please, sir, won't you carry it right inside? I think it might look best this year, right in the parlor corner here. But once the tree stood in its place, Mr. Willoughby made a terrible face.
Why?
The tree touched the ceiling, then bent like a bow. Oh, good heavens, he gasped. Something must go. Is it too tall?
Yeah.
Even though he has that huge house,
Oh,
it's still too
it's
tall.
true.
Oh, probably. Baxter the butler was called on in haste to chop off the top, though it seemed quite a waste. That's great, Mr. Willoughby cried with glee. Now we can start to trim my tree. When the trimming was well underway, the top was placed on a silver tray. Baxter said, I know just who'd be delighted with this Christmas tree. So it was presented to Miss Adelaide, Mr. Willoughby's upstairs maid. Won't this tree be a pretty sight when I have it trimmed later tonight? But the top, oh dear, I'm so afraid, will have to be cut, sighed Miss Adelaide. Is it too tall for her spot too? And so with scissors sharp and long, she snipped off the top while she hummed a song. The top was set out the very next day in the back of the house to be thrown away. That little treetop caught the eye of Tim the gardener passing by. He certainly was not about to see that little tree thrown out. He hurried it home right straight away to see what Mrs. Tim would say. Fa la la, surprise, surprise, his wife could not believe her eyes. But our house, she said, is so snug and small, I don't believe we need it all. And before Tim had a chance to shout, she cut off the top and threw it out. Where's it going to go? Barnaby Bear was padding by. It almost hit him in the eye. Now who would throw a tree away so very close to Christmas Day? I'll take it home, that's what I'll do. Look, Mama Bear, I've a present for you. See where they're living?
I thought that was a bunny.
I don't think so, not yet. Isn't it a pretty tree? Yawned Mama Bear quite drowsily. Before we go to sleep this year, let's have a Christmas party, dear. But Little Bear, standing off far, cried out, that tree won't hold a star. Barnaby said, let's cut a hunk off at the bottom here at the trunk. But Mama Bear just shook her head and sliced the treetop off instead. Jolly by golly, Barnaby said with a kick. Mama, that surely is just the right trick. Let's trim it with bells and ring rings, some berries and tinsel and popcorn on strings. Mama said, trim it just as you like. I've got to tidy up for the night. This top we won't need any more. I'll put it just outside the door. Look how tiny it is now. Would that be big enough for something? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Later on that frosty night, Frisky Fox came into sight. He spied the treetop, rubbed his chin, opened the sack, and stuffed the top in. So who's got it next?
The fox.
Fox, yep. Think it'll be big enough for them or too big?
What were those little paw prints?
Those were little paw prints. I don't know. Maybe
Mother keeps snipping it off.
Yep, keep snipping it off, snipping it off. That's right. It's one tree, but now it's a tree for lots and lots of people. He scampered home and jumped his gate. This Christmas present couldn't wait. It's even better than mincemeat pie, said Mrs. Fox with a happy sigh. Then the foxes saw that their Christmas prize was just a wee bit oversized. There, my dears, now don't you worry. I'll fix this top now in a hurry. She's doing it again, snipping off the top. Benjamin Rabbit found it then, just outside the fox's den. It seems, he thought most certainly, Santa left that for my family. Look, he cried, see the tree I found? With that he called his family around. Then there was a merrymaking, rollicking, frolicking, carrot-shaking celebration around the tree. All were happy as rabbits can be. Benjamin Rabbit, with his own hand, sliced a carrot and made a stand. So that's about that big, huh? Stand for it. So the tree must only be that big. Now let's see how this will look in our little chimney nook. But right away the children cried, "Look, it's leaning off to one side." "It's too tall, that's all," said Mrs. Rabbit, and as though it were a summer carrot, she gave it a chop and threw away, what does this say? The top.
The top.
Good. Then Mistletoe Mouse just happened to see that tiny tip of a Christmas tree. He pulled it through the snow and ice, up some stairs. He fell down twice. At last he reached his cozy house. Where is he? "It's just the right size," says Mrs. Mouse. Then at the top, if you please, they put a star made out of cheese. Good. Oh, wasn't it grand to have a tree exactly like Mr. Willoughby? Look at it, started out there, it went outside to all those other animals and to the upstairs maid, and then it came all the way back to mice that lived in Mr. Willoughby's house. Okay, I hope you liked our story. The girls would like to show you something.
Would you like to see a tree?
Say Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas!